I'm always delighted to be with Saul News. This has been such a leader in the conservative movement and the Republican Party.
Welcome to the Saul's Newsstand News Rewind for July 25th, 2025. Just the news reports. Americans are going to love Trump's tariff deals. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick told CBS that Americans will come around on tariffs. Polls show Americans are concerned about President Donald Trump's tariff plans, worried that prices will increase, but administration officials hope to win over the public. Lutnick said, quote, "They're going to love the deals that President Trump and I are doing. You know, the president figured out the right answer and sent letters to these countries, and he said this is going to fix the trade deficit. President Trump has said he wants to use tariffs to restore manufacturing jobs lost to lower-wage countries in decades past, shift the tax burden away from U.S. families, and pay down the national debt." CBS News reports, RNC ends first half of 2025 with $65.6 million tax advantage over DNC. The Republican National Committee ended the first half of 2025 with a $65.56 million cash-on-hand advantage over the Democratic Party as the left works to rebound from 2024 election losses. New campaign finance filings show the RNC had more than $80.7 million at the end of June, while the Democratic National Committee finished with around $15.2 million in cash on hand as both parties prepare for next year's midterm elections. The new round of campaign finance disclosures underscores the challenges Democrats continue to face this year. The gap between the two is far wider than this same time period before the 2018 midterms, when the RNC's cash-on-hand advantage over the DNC was $37.2 million at the end of June 2017. And finally, political reports. RNC Chair Michael Whatley to run for Senate in North Carolina with Trump support. Whatley's entry into the race sets up the prospect of a highly competitive and well-funded election in a state where Democrats believe they have one of their best chances of picking up a Senate seat. Lara Trump, who the president had previously asked to run, has decided to remain as host of her weekly show on Fox News. The NRSC had been floating the RNC chair as a potential replacement to Tillis since January. Trump's endorsement of Whatley will likely prevent a messy primary in a state Trump won in the past 3 presidential elections.
Russia's senseless, unprovoked invasion of Ukraine has cost over 1 million lives. All because Putin wants to rebuild another Soviet empire. His alliance with communist North Korea betrays his commitment to a wider conflict with the West. President Trump sees through Putin's lies and has taken bold moves to thwart Russia's violence and destruction. Horrifically, over 19,000 Ukrainian children have been abducted by the Russians since the invasion. Ukraine needs our support. Thank you, President Trump, for standing up to Putin's dangerous ambitions. Paid for by the 60 Plus Association.
And that concludes your Saul's Newsstand News Rewind for July 25th, 2025. For more political news faster, visit saulsnews.com.